Hi, once again welcome to Mahabubabad Education YouTube channel. Myself Somalingam Uppula, School Assistant Biological Science from ZPHS Penugonda, Mandal K Samudram. Today our topic is chemical coordination, endocrine system. And as we know, in our body, for control and coordination, we have two major systems. They are nervous system and as well as endocrine system. Of course, you may have a doubt. Though we have the nervous system for coordination, why does our body need one more system for coordination? And of course, especially the stimulations outside the body easily identified and very fastly responses are given by nervous system, but the changes inside the organs, the changes inside the body cannot be easily identified by the nervous system. So the changes inside the body have been identified, responses are formed by the second system for coordination is known as endocrine system. Endocrine system, which is the important one, which has the ability to give the responses for the internal changes, internal stimulations. That is why, though we have the nervous system for the coordination, our body has one more system which is known as endocrine system or ductless gland system. Exocrine glands are mostly associated with the digestive system. They have the tube or duct for transportation of their secretions, and these glands participate mostly in the digestive process. These glands are known as exocrine glands, exocrine system. The second type of glands. Inside the body, we have the second variety of glands. They don't have any vessel for their transportation of secretion. There is no any duct, there is no any tube for their secretions. So the second variety of glands, without having any specialized duct or vessel, those glands are known as ductless glands or endocrine glands. So those chemicals are known as hormones. So hormone, the word was given by Starling, an English pathologist. So anyway, the second variety of glands known as endocrine glands or ductless glands, those chemicals are known as hormones. Hormones play an important role in the control and coordination as a support system for the nervous system. So as a part of endocrine system inside the body, and as we know, they are producing different type of chemicals for their transportation. They don't have any specialized duct or vessel. That is why the chemicals which are secreted by endocrine glands directly transported to the bloodstream to various organs inside the body. Means hormones are transported by circulatory system only. That is why, though the endocrine gland system, they don't have any specialized duct for transportation of their secretions. These are entered into blood. Now through the blood, the hormones are transported to the needy organs. As a part of endocrine system, we have different glands. They are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pancreas, testes, ovaries, and last one, adrenal gland. So as a part of endocrine system, as a part of chemical coordination, the body has different type of endocrine glands. For example, they are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal gland, testes, and ovaries. In this video, we are going to discuss the complete structure and various hormones of pituitary gland. The first gland in the endocrine system is pituitary. Pituitary is a pea-sized gland, peanut-sized gland. Attaches to diencephalon, important part of the brain, through a small stalk. The gland is known as pituitary gland. Pituitary is the so important gland because With the help of its hormones, the pituitary has the ability to control the remaining endocrine glands also. I repeat, pituitary is a gland has the ability to control the remaining endocrine glands also through their secretions, and as well as which acts as a mediator between the nervous system and endocrine system. That is why pituitary gland is also known as master gland. I repeat, pituitary, the most important endocrine gland, has the ability to control the remaining endocrine glands also through their hormones, through their secretions, and also which plays an important role between the nervous system and endocrine system, which acts as a mediator, which acts as a connecting link between the nervous and endocrine system. That is why pituitary gland is also known as master gland. Now this master gland has the ability to secrete various types of hormones. For example, growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, prolactin, oxytocin and vasopressin are some important hormones by pituitary gland. The various hormones of pituitary gland are growth hormone or somatic growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, prolactin, oxytocin and vasopressin. We discuss now one by one in detail. The first one is growth hormone. Especially at the childhood age, the growth in the body is completely controlled by the growth hormone produced by pituitary gland, especially the growth of various organs in the body, mostly limbs and as well as the bones. The growth in the limbs and bones is completely controlled by important hormone produced by pituitary gland known as growth hormone or somatic growth hormone, which is very important for the normal growth in the body. In the childhood age, if the person doesn't have the sufficient amount of growth hormone in its body, now the child who doesn't have the proper growth, who is very short, approximately 3 feet height only, due to the deficiency of growth hormone at the childhood age, the child did not have the proper growth. He was only 3 feet height, known as pituitary dwarfism, which is so short, approximately around 3 feet height only. At the childhood age, if any child who has the excess amount of growth hormone secretion, the person has abnormal growth in height. Due to excess amount of growth hormone, abnormal growth can be seen in the bones and limbs. That is why who has the abnormal big size known as pituitary gigantism. That is why at the childhood age, normal growth, the required growth is completely given by the growth in limbs and bones must completely controlled by an important hormone produced by pituitary gland known as growth hormone or somatic growth hormone. Second one is thyroid stimulating hormone. The second thyroid gland, which is on the trachea, is known as thyroid gland. Now the thyroid stimulating hormone has the ability to control the thyroid gland, the normal growth in the thyroid gland, which is on the trachea. The normal growth, the secretion of thyroxine is completely controlled by a hormone known as TSH or thyroid stimulating hormone produced by again pituitary gland. Next hormone is follicle stimulating hormone, FSH. Now follicle stimulating hormone acts on sex organs of the male and female, testes and ovaries. Now the development and secretion of hormones, the testes and ovaries completely controlled by an important hormone FSH produced by again pituitary gland. So pituitary gland, which has the ability to control the growth and secretion of hormones in the sexual organs like testes and ovaries through a hormone known as FSH, stands for follicle stimulating hormone. One more hormone is luteinizing hormone. So mostly luteinizing hormone acts on ovaries, the female sexual organs. The normal growth and development in the female sexual parts and secretion of female sexual hormones. So growth in the ovary, growth in the female sexual organs and secretion of various female sexual hormones completely controlled by an important hormone, luteinizing hormone, again produced by pituitary gland. One more gland of pituitary is ACTH, stands for adrenocorticotropic hormone. So on kidneys we have one more pair of glands, a part of endocrine system known as adrenal glands. Like a cap-like structure on the kidney, so it is also known as suprarenal gland, which has two portions, cortex and medulla. In the adrenal gland we can see two different zones. The central zone known as the medulla, outer zone known as cortex. Now the outer zone of adrenal gland is completely controlled by the structure, various metabolisms, secretion of hormones of cortex of the adrenal gland is completely controlled by ACTH, stands for adrenocorticotropic hormone produced by pituitary gland. So ACTH, a type of hormone produced by adrenal gland, which has the ability to control the cortex, a zone of adrenal gland, its growth and secretion of various hormones of the cortex of adrenal gland is completely controlled by a hormone known as ACTH, stands for adrenocorticotropic hormone produced by again pituitary gland. One more hormone is prolactin. Now the prolactin is a hormone mostly works on mammary glands of women. After the childbirth, for the feeding of the child, the milk flow in the mother's body is initiated by the hormone known as prolactin. Prolactin is one more important hormone produced by pituitary gland, which acts on the mammary glands of the woman's body. After the childbirth on the mammary glands, it has the power to initiate the milk flow for the feeding of the baby. So for the proper secretion of the milk flow from the mammary gland of a delivery woman is completely controlled by a hormone known as prolactin. So one more hormone of pituitary gland is oxytocin, which works mostly on the ovaries and uterus after the gestation period for the easy delivery, for easy childbirth, which works on the uterus walls for the contractions and relaxations in the uterus known as labor pains. Labor pains are very important for the normal delivery. Now this hormone is produced by again pituitary gland. And the last important hormone of pituitary gland is vasopressin. In the excretory system, in the nephron, urine is formed. After the filtration of the blood, the primary urine is transporting various parts of the nephron from the collecting tube. The excess amount of water again reabsorbed into the body through a hormone known as vasopressin. Vasopressin, important hormone, acts on the kidney, mostly on the nephron, while the primary urine traveling through the uriniferous tubule and collecting tube. From the collecting tube, the excess amount of water reabsorbed into the body to get the urine concentrated to reduce the urine quantity. So to reduce the urine quantity and increase the urine concentration by absorbing the excess amount of water from the urine from the collecting tube, which requires a hormone known as vasopressin produced by again pituitary gland. If any person who doesn't have sufficient amount of vasopressin, Now, from the collecting tube, the excess amount of water from the urine cannot be reabsorbed. That is why the person is suffering from repeated urination and dilute urination known as diabetes insipidus due to deficiency of ADH, antidiuretic hormone known as vasopressin. Deficiency of vasopressin in the person's kidney from the collecting tube, from the nephron, excess amount of water cannot be reabsorbed into the body. That is why the person has a symptom, that is repeated urination and dilute urination known as diabetes insipidus. So diabetes insipidus is completely controlled by a hormone known as ADH, stands for antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, produced by pituitary gland. So pituitary, the most important gland as we know, which is the master gland. Why it is known as master gland means the pituitary, it has the power, it has ability to control the remaining endocrine glands also through various secretions of the pituitary gland, and again which acts as a mediator between the nervous system and endocrine system. That is why pituitary is also known as master gland. Now the master gland has the ability to control the remaining glands through various hormones. They are growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, prolactin, oxytocin and vasopressin. In the following video, we will discuss some more important endocrine glands like thyroid gland, parathyroid gland and pancreas. We will discuss in the next video. Okay.